Hi, thanks for coming on. Andy with you here on Monday, July the 12th. Uh, we're going to have a quick look back at the whole of the Euros. I want to quickly show you as well the ratings, which for the knockout stages. And just to say, I'll be back on Thursday, um, and we're going to take a first serious look at the Scottish League. There's they've priced up the Championship, Sky Bet and Hills. They're the only two that have priced up, but I think the Racing and Football Outlook are going to run a piece this week on the Scottish Championship. So I'm hoping that more bookmakers are going to price. And I have finished my book now for the Championship, League One and League Two, and depending on what prices are available, we might put some bets out on Thursday for the outright. So we'll see what develops over the next couple of days. Hopefully, now the Euros are finished, bookmakers will start to compile their books. As I say, I've done my three, and I will be showing those three on Thursday, regardless, excuse me, whether they have priced or not. So make sure you come on Thursday, and we're going to really start getting now into the start of the Scottish season. Right, the Euros finished last night. Just quickly go through the results. You've seen this page because we've not done anything. All I've done here is to literally divide it between the group betting. I've put some final results and a couple of interesting things which, well, you might find interesting at the bottom. We made 4.87 points from the group betting, which I was very happy with, but we made a total of 7.4, didn't we, overall? And the ones I've sort of subdivided and put into italic are the knockout stages. So we made a decent profit on the knockout stages. I know it was only a 2.5 points, whatever, but it was very, very difficult to get a profit in the knockout stage, and I'll come to that in a few minutes because there's another little table I want to show you about the knockout stage ratings. But that was good. Now, I say this through gritted teeth because I am an Englishman and I am an England supporter. But we had Italy at 11-1 on the outrights. I gave that end of May, if you remember, when they were 11s. It was a really decent profit. And in total, then, if you combine the group match betting and the knockout match betting with the outrights, we had 32 bets. Obviously, only one of these five could win, which gave us 15 winners, 46.87% strike rate. That is absolutely incredible for sort of 3.5 weeks. 28.4 points. Profit on investment, 59.78%. I have to say, that's been a fantastic tournament for us because the tournament finished obviously yesterday, and we started. The first bet was the 12th of June, and the final bet was the 11th of July. So, in roughly a month, that's an incredible figure. I don't know anybody that makes sort of those figures to sort of this stake. So that's was my highest stake. But the reason why I had to increase that stake on France, because obviously I wanted to sort of get everybody winning roughly the same, but I wanted the biggest win to come from the biggest value, and that was Italy, and that's something that you have to get used to when you bet, whether it's football, even if you back horse racing. You want your sort of like your biggest stake, if you like, on the biggest price, or you want the most profit from the biggest value bet. And Italy, if you watch the early video, was the biggest value bet, and they have returned us the biggest return of 36 points. I put it up on Twitter last night at 26. I don't know why I'd done that. Maybe I didn't have my glasses on, but anyway, that was a fantastic return. And I just noticed I've spelt Manchester City with oh God, now what have I done? I've spelt that with an I, with an O rather than an I. Anyway, yeah, so that was fantastic. Now, if you also remember, I did say on the very first video, one of the first things I said to you, and it's something which not a lot of people will look at, and I hope I've pointed you in the right direction to the future with regards to this. I had four A-rated managers: Italy, Portugal, France, and Germany, and that was why they were four. Not just solely the reason, but as I did say, that the majority, if not all of these tournaments, are won by managers that have had success before they've come into the international scene. Now, Roberto Mancini, obviously, he's won matches, like as you say, you can see at Manchester City, Galatasaray, and Fiorentina. And when these managers get this huge domestic success and they go on to manage what I call a sort of cream nation, the two usually go hand in hand. And that was one of the reasons why I was against England. And I'll come to this figure here in just a minute, but Gareth Southgate hadn't had the level of domestic success, but he's not really managed. But one thing that I just want to say in Gareth Southgate's favour is that he did come up through the under-21s, and I think now with the semi-final of the World Cup and a final at the Euros, I think, I'm not saying we can put him as an A-level manager, but the performances have sort of said to me that he is up there at sort of maybe just below that Mancini level. But as I say, these tournaments are often won by a team that's got a manager that's had massive success domestically. So even World Cups, whatever, guys, whenever you come to look at that, even if you don't listen to me, the first thing that you always have to look at is the manager. Don't get caught up with all this player's worth 100 million, etc., etc. First place to always go, look at the manager. And you'll always find he's had massive domestic success. So that's just a tip. But Gareth Southgate has gone up massively in my estimation. And that just brings me on to this. These were the ratings at the start. I had Italy 414, England 382. But obviously England were sort of half the Italy price, if not less. Now, for me, I've got Italy. That's not a minus. That's a sort of, I'm going to keep Italy round about that sort of figure. And the reason why is because, to me, I don't see a whole deal of improvement in this side. They missed the last World Cup. Chiellini, Bonucci could be their last tournaments. I know the World Cup's only 18 months away, but I think that Italy have geared up for this, and they've done its job done. And I don't see them winning the World Cup in 18 months' time. Now, I'm going to say something I never thought I would say. I think we have to take at the next World Cup England deadly serious, and that is why they have got an upward arrow, because they are better than the current rating of 382 I've given them. I will reassess that when the next international tournament comes along. I'm not interested in qualifiers, Nations League. The next time I will be interested in international football is at the World Cup. And this figure, I will reassess that. But as I say, this I don't see getting a lot better unless Italy produce another Bonucci, Chiellini. I have to say the goalkeeper is probably, I've got him rated probably the best goalkeeper in the world. Donnarumma and Enrico Chiesa too. I've got now bordering sort of on a world-class level. But England, I have to say, it was a fantastic performance. I didn't expect them to get this far, but I think they've demonstrated an ability. And remember what I said at the very first time on my very first video. I spoke about teams in an upward trajectory, and the only two teams, well, there's three teams I think from Europe in an upward trajectory, and that is England, Spain, and Denmark. You might laugh at Spain, but I think that Spain showed a good deal of improvement as the tournament went on, and they ran Italy mighty close in that semi-final. And I think Denmark, it's debatable whether they can be this good again, but I think their performances, and they are in an upward trajectory. Now, I do follow the South American. I've watched the Copa America, and I don't want to get ahead of myself here or excite anybody, but both Brazil and Argentina, I haven't got in an upward trajectory. Now, that could all change over the next 18 months, but if somebody, and France, obviously, we can't discount, but if I had a gun to the head now and somebody said to me, Andy, name 3 teams that you think would have a chance of winning the World Cup next time, I would have to say that it's England, Spain, and France. And I don't, that is not my heart ruling my head, because have you seen over this last month, that doesn't happen. I'm completely impartial. I don't look at things through rose-tinted glasses. I look at them from a statistic and my knowledge and what prices I've calculated and figures I've calculated. That's all that interests me. I'm a mathematician, and all I'm interested in is figures. I say I'm a mathematician. I can't even add 21 to 7.4. So, but yes, that is something which I think that we can look forward to, because I think this England team has got improvement in it. And I don't know whether I said at the start of the tournament, I think that Ben White statistically was England's best centre back. Now, I think the England centre back pairing has performed admirably, but at the same time, I think the players that haven't been available, I think the likes of Mason Greenwood, players like that, James Maddison, Ben White, I think Ben Godfrey at Everton is another one. The young players that are coming through at England, it's very, very difficult to say, but I've taken a lot of points from France. I will add a lot of points onto England. We could end up going into the next World Cup backing England, and that is something which, to me, up until now has been unthinkable. But as I say, I'm a realist, and England are certainly one of only 3 teams that I can see, well, 2 teams I can see worldwide in an upward trajectory, because I think Germany, I think even regardless of Hansi Flick, I think age is a factor. Portugal, I think, again, I'm not going to say they've had their day, but it sort of smacked of that to me. France, there's going to be a lot of players over 30, key players, because I still think Antoine Griezmann is their key player, and my statistics will tell me that as well. And Brazil and Argentina, the performance ratings I've given them are behind what we've seen in this tournament. So I know I'm waffling, but I do hope what I'm saying to you helps you, and I hope that anything that I've said to you over this past month, even if it's just one thing that helps you 1%, then I'm happy. But we have to look at this from England from a positive viewpoint, and I certainly am. And to sit here and say I could be contemplating back in England for the World Cup in 18 months or whatever would normally be unthinkable, but it isn't. It's a reality. So regardless of what's happened, there is a lot of positives. Upward trajectory. Always remember that. Right, this is something I just wanted to touch on as well. These were the top rated or highest percentage knockout teams, and interestingly, 3 winners from the top rated, which absolutely incredible, because I always said, didn't I, that the draw was underpriced. And look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look how many times extra time was called into play. Absolutely incredible. And I think that when you look at it, that's something which I'm going to go back over these next sort of couple of months now, and I'm going to go back right through and try and see. Well, I won't try. I will see how many of these games actually went into extra time and penalties, and see if I can dig up some historic prices of what those draws were, because there could just be an angle into that. But very disappointing, wasn't it? If you back them all, but thankfully we didn't, because when we look at our knockout stages, we only got involved. I think we had 8 bets, didn't we? 4 of them won, and they all included Denmark. So Denmark done us very proud this tournament. But just look how competitive it got towards the semi-finals. Look, 41 and 45%, 38% top rated in the final. But so many of them went to extra time, and there is a potential angle in there. So that's just something I wanted to show you. If you want to know the figures for the the group stages, they're on a previous video. But I think had you probably backed each top rated or highest percentage team to a 1 point stake, you most certainly would have lost. So it just goes to show that you have to be extremely choosy and make sure you are getting value, because although these look, sexy ratings, don't they? 69, 59, 58, 69, 52, they didn't actually win. And that's why it doesn't matter, how high you rate something. If it's not value in relation to the price, you don't want to bet it. And it just goes to show that when we look through here, had you backed all the top rateds blindly, you would have made a loss. But by backing selective only value top rateds, we came out with a decent 7.5 points profit. And it's no coincidence that the biggest value rated team netted us the most profit. So I do hope that I know some of you have backed these. I know my members have, because the amount of emails I got last night and this morning, and I know some people have made a lot of money. I've had a very, very good month. Unbelievable. I didn't expect. I was hopeful of getting a winner. I'd never, think it was a given, but I was hopeful of a 4 or 5 point profit on the group stages. But it just goes to show that the methods that I apply to Scottish football and non-league football do actually work at international level. And if I could really sort of fine-tune those to the Premiership, Leagues 1, League 2, Championship as well, obviously, and even European leagues, it could be very profitable. But it's finding the time, because I spend so much time on Scottish football and non-league football. It's difficult. But as I say, this season I'm going to be pricing up the Premier League and the Championship, League 1 and League 2. So I'm going to put those ratings on here. I'm not going to put tips up. I've said that before. I'm not going to put tips up. You can look at the ratings, see how I've rated the games. If you think it's a value in relation to the price, but I'm not going to be putting tips up, but I will put up all my figures each week. So that's it. I really do hope that you had a good tournament, and even if you only got involved in some of the bets, I hope you made a profit. And as I say, it's a real bittersweet having an 11-1 winner, but England losing it really does. It doesn't leave you feeling great. It leaves you feeling great financially, but I feel bad for people, friends, family that that wanted England to win, and it's a difficult one. But anyway, we made a profit, and that's what we're here for. And I just hope that you've enjoyed sort of knowing how I bet and what sort of bets I like and how I find the value and things like that. And the feedback I've got has been amazing, guys. I really do appreciate it. And just to say, I will be back Thursday, and from here on in, it's going to be all about the Scottish football. And obviously, as I always say, that is my area of what I think is my strongest area. So a lot of pressure to match this next season, I have to say. But we will try our best. But if you made a profit, enjoy it. And I will be back Thursday, and I will show you my prices for the Scottish, whether they're up or not with other firms. I've done my work. I've got, just to say quickly, I've got Kilmarnock, Keena's favourites for the Championship, Alloa, and I think I've got joint favourites in League 2 between Forfar and Kelty Hearts. Just to say, feedback I got on the Kelty Hearts game against Dundee United was pretty positive the other night. It was a League Cup game, so we can't read too much into it, but the feedback I got was good. And that they look a decent side and they should go well. That's what was said to me. I've not actually seen the game, but we'll talk about that another time. I'm just waffling endlessly, and I will be back Thursday. Have a good week. I'll speak to you then. Bye for now.